My amplified unit. Give me 1 sec, let BC go live on my end. On the playback, this will already be recording, but live, it takes a little bit. Some of you guys are getting ads from the jump. Appreciate you guys that watch the ads. Send BC an extra coffee. Here we go. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? You guys got me loud and clear. I got your playback. Sounds pretty good. In a second, I'm going to switch to my playback. Gold cards. Channel members up in the chat. This is for you guys. It's going to be available for everybody. If not now, eventually. After we are live. So if you are not a gold card channel member, do not worry. You guys will catch this stream. My full review, breakdown, analysis of Battleground from last night. So you guys will get that no matter what. The live stream is simply for my gold card channel members. I like to do this every now and again. I try to do it once a week. Doesn't always happen that way, but this is my way to say thank you to all my channel members, all the gold cards that you see. If you are not a channel member, if you are, hold on. There we go. There we go. If you're not a channel member, do not worry. This Saturday, for everybody, BC hopes to be live for the Clash at the Castle. A live review, live good, the bad, and the ugly. So that's for everybody. You do not have to be a member for that. Just saying in advance, that's the hope. Let me switch over, guys. Your playback sounds pretty good. I'm going to switch to my playback so I can hear myself blow out microphones. But yeah, man. So these streams are always special for me. Again, I get to say thank you to I know that everybody in that chat has a gold card. I know that everybody in that chat is just very dependable. I can go to you guys if I need an answer, if I need the unit to stand up and rock out. I know my gold carders got it, man. James, Shrimp Fajitas, JR9 Gaming. Thank goodness you're up in here, JR9, because if I got any questions, if I need any fill in the blanks on NXT, man, JR9 is my right-hand man on the channel, but he is Mr. NXT. He's got it covered from top to bottom, start to finish, beginning to end. But also, D. Brown, Dwayne Piazza, Sam Byers, Go Jackets, Deshaun Sanders, Cassandra Love. I believe Eric was in here earlier as well, right? Carlos Ray, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to get to that in a second. I don't think Carlos can stay, but he stopped by to say what's up before we even got this thing rocking. Eric Leno up in here. That's who it was. Yes, Eric Leno. So I do have some gold carders live, and I know a lot of gold carders after. This is on a half an hour notice on a Monday morning / afternoon. So I know a lot of you guys will catch it afterwards. So to my channel members that catch this future BC, future live stream, but not actually live, thank you. Just like I'm going to tell my live stream channel members, I'm going to tell you guys in the future as well. If you have a gold card, an extra thank you big time. This is a clearly Canadian wild cherry that I'm about to pop for you guys. So I thank you big time. I mean it. This is something special we started 17, 18 months ago, maybe, channel membership. And, man, to see all the gold up in the chat, man, it's always special. Reese Monet. What's up, Reese? Demonte, Ty Drew, Alicia Vukovic. So we have a lot of gold carders up in here, man. Again, I don't know if this is available to all of my unit. I forgot what setting I put this on. So I'm not sure if non-members can view this now, but I will make sure that non-members can view this afterwards, I assure you. So just so nobody feels left out, and you guys got my thoughts on Battleground. So that's my introduction, guys. Thank you for letting me take 4 or 5 minutes just to say a big thank you to all of my gold carders. We're going to go over Battleground, the review and full analysis, full breakdown from last night. There's a few things I want to talk about first. Ricochet real quick, AJ Lee real quick, and also Dana Brooke, of all people, and Gail Kim, of all people. So if you just give me a minute or two, I want to cover those individuals first, and then we'll get into the review. First and foremost, to everybody up in here, and I saw some super chats. I will get to those in just a little bit. I want to say a big shout out to D Brown. Welcome back to channel membership. I saw before I was going live, D Brown popped up with the green box, meaning he just got his gold card. And I love seeing that, but I thought, wait a second, D Brown, he was already a channel member. But I know sometimes things get muffed up, or, hey, listen, bills got to get paid before BC gets a coffee. I'm going to be just fine. Make sure the bills are paid. But D Brown, welcome back, man. Seriously, to every single gold carder up in here now and every single gold carder later. This stream is for you guys. Thank you big time. I'm going to let you guys listen to this one. Ready? Listen to the sizzle on this. Here we go. Ready? There we go. How about that? Look at those bubbles rise to the top, man. All right, this one's for you guys, man. First swig. Let's do this. Yeah. JR9 in the chat. Okay, I'll start with that, JR9. Let me start with that then. Backstage, I think this was after NXT even went off the air even. There was a backstage interview with Rok-C. Or maybe it was right after the match. Either way, Rok-C is... Was that during or right after? I know I saw it. I forgot when, JR9. Rok-C was in an interview. CM Punk walks up. CM Punk doesn't like the fact that Rok-C is this heel character now, right? She got a big ego now. CM Punk is like, don't worry about all that. Worry about that title. Tonight you got lucky, he said. He said, concentrate on what you are doing, who you are. So, just after, says JR9. Yeah, digital exclusive. So, old school Rok-C, Roxanne Perez, would take the words and say, thank you, Mr. Punk. Oh, it's so good to be around you. No, instead, this Rok-C says, yeah, no thank you, you hypocrite, and walks away. Calls CM Punk a hypocrite. CM Punk looks at Schreiber and is like, does she always have this chip on her shoulder? So a little something there with Punk and Roxanne Perez. Now, that could be nothing at all, like JR9 is alluding to. Julia is most likely going to be, maybe not up next, but the one to take the title from Rok-C. But what if AJ Lee wants to come back, but doesn't want to do this main roster shit right now, right? She was involved with Women of Wrestling for a long time, for instance, right? She likes to be a part of wrestling. She's always has been. Again, WoW she was with for a while. She just doesn't want to be a part of that big stage. What if, even if she doesn't win the title, right? Maybe it is Julia. But in the meantime, what if AJ Lee comes back? Rok-C, AJ Lee. Come on, man. I don't care if it's at Heat Wave or the next event. There is no way we can't do that, man. AJ Lee does not have to step foot on this grand stage. Go down to Florida a couple 2-3 times. One of those 2-3 times is the actual match. AJ Lee, Rok-C, man. Set it up. I'm just saying, if you're going to do this Punk and Rok-C thing, I thought that was really cool. It got a lot of traction, actually. There was a lot of buzz around it, guys. A lot of people were talking about that. So I'm like, why waste it? AJ Lee still loves this. AJ Lee is still a part of this. AJ is in phenomenal shape. I don't know if you've seen AJ Lee lately. She is in phenomenal shape. AJ, Rok-C, James Shrimp Fajitas. Come on, man. JR9, dream match. So for BC, that would be another level of dream match. Alicia, right? Yeah, JR9. Yeah, AJ calls Rok-C one of her kids. There's so many layers that you can do with AJ. So I'm just putting that out there. Some of you guys might not have known or have seen that interview after Battleground went off the air, but a pretty interesting CM Punk Rok-C interaction where Rok-C calls this dude a hypocrite to his face and walks off. And Punk is astonished, like, does she always have this chip? You could do something with AJ Lee. AJ does not have to win the title. You could wait, because you're going to have to wait anyway. There's going to be several more months before Julia even gets there with this injury. So, Reese, yes, please. Yes. Could you imagine? I was so excited for Jordynne Grace and Rok-C. That would be same level, maybe even if done correctly, even more than that. I'm just so high on Jordynne Grace. I can't wait to talk this Battleground, by the way. So AJ Lee, I wanted to talk about. Thank you for letting me give me a minute or two, my gold card channel members, to speak AJ Lee. I also want to spend a moment, if you don't mind, on Ricochet. I want to get this out of the way because over the last 48 hours, there's conflicting reports. One thing we know is Ricochet's contract ends this summer. And then we heard that Ricochet has given his notice that he's leaving. And then a report 6 hours later said, no, that's not true. He just said, there's some intent to look elsewhere. Nobody knows. What we do know is this about Ricochet, right? None of us don't like Ricochet, right? We know when he gets in that ring, he can ooh-ah you, right? You can yell, this is awesome. We all know that. The problem with Ricochet, if we're being truthful, which is what we are on this channel, especially when I got all the gold up in this chat, Ricochet, aside from the glorified gymnastics, which is what it is, you guys know that, aside from that, what is he doing to put storylines on his back and captivating you? He can't rock the microphone, guys. That's the problem. Whereas at least Will Ospreay, he can rock a microphone, right? Will Ospreay can check off another box. So my question to you guys in this chat right now, what do you expect what do you expect WWE to do for Ricochet? Give him the ball. Give him the what do we got? Give him the football. Give him the there you go. Come here. Got the Celtics. You got the Celtics and the Mavs. Give them the basketball. Give them any ball that you possibly want to give them. What do you expect? How far do you expect Ricochet to go? Because you're going from Hulk Hogan to Ultimate Warrior to Stone Cold Steve Austin to The Rock to The Undertaker, even Cody Rhodes. That's fine, right? Ricochet, with bare minimal mic skills, what are we doing with him? JR9, his character and promo skills are non-existent. He has no character. One and only. I don't know what does that even mean? He oohs and ahs. I get that, right? Every wrestler off the assembly line is like a carbon copy of the next, right? They all can do the same things. Ricochet can do them a little bit better than a lot of them. I get it. But aside from that, what do you... Like, how are you going to sell your... Because you have to have casual fans, guys. You have to. I understand a lot of you guys are diehard fans. I get it. You have to have casual fans. You have to have relapsed fans. Fans that are coming back. Lapsed. Probably shouldn't say relapsed. They're coming from an AA meeting. But you get the point. You have to have the lapsed fan. What's Ricochet in the main event of all your pay-per-views with the world title? What do you expect is going to happen? Like, WWE is kind of in a rock and a hard spot. I totally agree his booking should have been much better. But Ricochet has to do much better. I mean, he has to prove that he can rock this, man. It's very... Let me see, man. James Shrimp Fajitas, Ricochet hasn't gotten over in all of the years he's been there. He needs to move on. That's what I was thinking. Everybody's like, oh no, they're going to lose Ricochet. Paul Levesque McMahon doesn't know what he's going to lose. How dare Paul Levesque McMahon lose Ricochet? This is one of those times I absolutely have to defend Paul Levesque McMahon. I'll actually back Triple H up here. I don't see, if he's asking for a ton of money, and you know that Endeavor wants the flywheel in effect at all times, which means we're trying to cut costs, we're trying to sign people like Seth Rollins to extensions, and Becky Lynch, and Chad Gable, and so many others. You know they want to keep Natty, because Natty helps out all the females coming up. There's just so many contracts, and that's the ones we know about. I'm told there's another 16 at least. 16, that was an actual number, so I don't know. They know a lot more than me, but 16 individuals we're going to find out about this summer that need to be re-signed. So no, if Triple H does, and Nick Khan, right, Triple H isn't the one actually signing the checks, but Triple H absolutely knows who is staying and who's going, right? Nothing is happening without Triple H's knowledge first. You're not just going to take his talent and he's not going to know about it. What? Or he wakes up, Drew McIntyre's in AEW. How did this happen? Nick Khan's like, sorry, Paul. Had to do it last night, man. Triple H knows, and Triple H has influence. Triple H can move some numbers because he can move some things and puzzle pieces around. But Triple H is not at fault if Ricochet leaves. And that's if, because that's not even confirmed. But if Ricochet leaves, that's not Triple H's problem. He's been there for years. Yes, his booking should have and could have been better. But so could Ricochet have. That's the problem with Ricochet, guys. We all love what the dude does in the ring, and we're thankful for it, and it's I guess, for the most part. I mean, every time I see him, I know we're going to go, ooh, ah, for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and that's it. That's where it ends. There's nothing that captivates you afterwards. And that's the problem. You can't go from Hulk Hogan to Steve Austin to Ricochet. Now, I'm not saying that can't get changed. Maybe he does find himself on the indies or in AEW, right? Maybe he just comes to life somehow. He starts rocking it on the microphone. He starts putting storylines on his back. Maybe. It's possible. And that's what we're hoping for. But to cry about Ricochet possibly leaving, I don't know. He doesn't check off all the boxes, guys. He just doesn't, man. I was hoping at times he was. The best feud I can remember with Ricochet, I can speak, is Logan Paul. And that was recently. Logan Paul brought out the best in the dude. And yes, booking should have capitalized on that and kept the momentum going. They did not. Recently, they tried to give him a little bit of a boost, but that's what Levesque McMahon does. He gives who was it? Xia Li, some badass victories, and then all of a sudden she goes on a 2 to 3 match losing streak, and then she's not seen for 2 months, and then she's released. We see these people get a couple of big W's and then some big losses. So it's not shocking that Ricochet got a couple of W's and then he lost to, or is going to get destroyed by, what's his name, Braun Breaker, just like Dragunov, unfortunately. And then on top of that, he just lost his Speed Championship, which I don't even know what that is. Those are goofy 30-second matches. What is that, JR9? Anybody, gold card, what is that, 3-minute matches? How does that work? What if there's not a winner in 3 minutes, by the way? How does can anybody tell me how that even works? But anyway, he was the inaugural champ or some shit, and then he just lost that. 3-minute matches. So what happens if nobody wins? Ricochet just keeps his title, I guess. Or is there always a winner in 3 minutes? Because there's no better way to say wrestling is scripted than having 3-minute matches with an exact winner at 3 minutes. JR9, has there ever been a 3-minute time limit draw? Or is there a winner in 3 minutes every single time? There's always been a winner in 3 minutes? You're exposing the business at that point, brah. My gold carders, thank you for smashing that up too. I forgot to even say that. That's the future gold carders as well. And again, if this is open up to non-channel members later, you guys too, if you don't mind smashing that up. Appreciate it. There's always been a winner. The title matches are 5 minutes. What in the world, man? There you go. Hey, Reese, I'll take Ricky Starks. He's got his boy Cody there. He wants to be in WWE anyway. That's painfully obvious. And Ricky Starks has that charisma. He's got that personality. Ricky Starks would fit perfectly in WWE. And at this point, Ricochet would fit perfectly with what Tony Khan wants in AEW. A bunch of those type of matchups. You know? The thing is, we've already seen him and Will Ospreay and such. And I told you guys a bunch of times, Melty Boy didn't even rate Ricochet and Will Ospreay in Ospreay's top 10 matches of all time. Ricochet didn't even crack the top 10, and they've had several. So that tells you, we've seen it, and even Melty Boy doesn't put that in his... I don't know, man. That's the Ricochet discussion. I just don't know what people believe, even with solid booking. How far do you expect Ricochet to go? Is he the guy you want in the main event with the championship, and he's going to pull your ass out of your home and spend $1,000 on tickets? Because by then, that's what prices will be. And Ricochet's the guy to... Maybe it is. But I'm telling you right now, for a lot of individuals, a lot of fans, he's not. So I think him taking off from WWE, I think it's the right thing. I think it's going to help him. It's only going to benefit him. So that's the talk on Ricochet. Thank you for allowing BC to take a few minutes on that. And lastly but not least, 2 returns last night to WWE. One on camera, one off. The one on camera, Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance. It was wild seeing her back. It wasn't long ago she was released. She was with WWE for the longest time. And I'm not saying it was one of the most devastating releases. I get it. Dana Brooke was a character a lot of people made jokes about, and just we had a lot of fun with, because it was we wondered, what are we doing, man, with all these great wrestlers? Why is Dana Brooke on TV, right? It's sad because she busted her ass and she always tried to improve. But with some talents like Mickie James and so many others getting released, you're like, come on. And Dana still is here. But she finally takes off. She finds her identity a little bit with Ash by Elegance and TNA. And there she was last night in the main event. We'll talk about that when we go over, or not the main event, the pre. Rok-C, Roxanne Perez versus Jordynne Grace. We'll talk about that. But it was wild seeing her, because it was like, you forget about that, right? You know this relationship with NXT and TNA, but you don't think like, wow, that opens the door to so many of these, like Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance. And wouldn't that be something if down the line, Ash by Elegance took on Tiffany Stratton? You guys remember what Elegance said about Tiffany. Tiffany never rebutted that or never had a response. So that tells you she was probably none too happy. So that's the deal with Dana Brooke. And then the biggest one was Gail Kim. This was off camera. You did pick her up a few times last night, I believe, like in the background. But Gail Kim was there live to see Jordynne Grace. And it is so cool that WWE allowed her to be in there. I don't know if Vince McMahon would have allowed it. I honestly don't know. Paul Levesque McMahon, borderline, but I believe Shawn Michaels was like, this is what Jordynne wants, and Gail Kim is allowed. If you guys don't know, man, when Gail Kim left WWE, she eliminated herself from a battle royal. You talk about defiance. Live on Monday Night Raw, she eliminated herself and quit WWE. She's never been back since. Never even allowed into those walls. So to see the pictures of and the photos of Gail Kim there, and to see Gail Kim smiling and watching Jordynne Grace and other matches, that was wild. That marks the first time Gail Kim has been back in WWE. And I really hope that this sets the stage to put Gail Kim into the Hall of Fame, where she belongs, because Gail Kim is phenomenal. And I'm not just talking about her WWE work, man. Gail Kim is phenomenal. And what she's done with TNA wrestling, by the way, especially with the ladies. I'm not talking about just in that ring. If you guys only knew what she did behind the scenes for ladies like Jordynne Grace, you'd be in awe. Gail Kim is a special individual, man. And she's married to one of my favorite people in the world, Robert Irvine. If you guys ever catch the Food Network, Restaurant Impossible, Dinner Impossible, he's a famous chef, but he's a dude I met several times, and he's just one of the coolest dudes, loves to work out. I always help him out. I always support. Just like if you guys wonder why I always thank you guys for supporting, it's because supporting means a lot to me, because I support everyone that I put on a pedestal, that I enjoy or am captivated by or love their work. I always support. So Irvine has these protein bars, and I always buy them by the box. If they're out at the local whatever stores, Costco's or whatever, I'll actually get them at like Amazon or whatever. But I'm always supporting with his protein bars. Anyway, yes, James Shrimp Fajitas knows Robert Irvine. So, man, just to see Gail Kim last night, that was in a WWE building. I could not believe it, man. It was just wild. So, Gail Kim, Dana Brooke, two big returns, one off camera, but seen behind the scenes a couple of times, Gail Kim, and then the other was on camera, Dana Brooke. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Again, new member, D Brown, I appreciate you, dude. Welcome back. Super chats, I'm going to get to those in just a little bit. Let me go over Battleground first, guys. I'll try to get this done in ample time. What are we at? Almost a half an hour already? 25. All right. Salute unit. Let me give you another salute gold card. A new gold carders come in. Any? Pimp Jesus. What up, Pimp? Pimp just joined us recently, man. Gold team. Again, I cannot say this enough. I know a lot of gold carders, man. You're going to catch us after. This is on a half an hour notice on a Monday morning / afternoon. Thank you. Even though you were not able to catch us live, thank you for the membership. It's never needed. It's always appreciated. I appreciate the coffee or the Clearly Canadian every month. Salute. You know it, JR9. Let's do this. Now the show starts off, and JR9, dude, if I muff something, anything, feel free to put that in the chat, JR9, because NXT is your deal, man. I'm stepping on to JR9's territory now with the NXT shit, but I think I did pretty damn good. I learned a lot about a lot of these individuals, JR9. A lot about them, man. And I can tell you this, the women, they took over. The women owned last night. I went in this with a clear conscience. Everybody just entertain me. And what I got from it is all of the women's matches fucking landed. I did not like the venue. I'm not going to lie. That crowd looked like they just were on a 14-hour wrestling binge and they were tired AF. They got some good chants going. They tried to show some good energy, but it just didn't feel right. And the Orlando crowd where they're at every Tuesday night, that feels a little better. But I did not like this setup. For these matchups and for what transpired last night, I truly felt it was too big for such a little venue. There you go. I can spit it out. That's the best way to put it. Too big of a card. I'm just two matches up front. Trick and Ethan and Jordynne and Rok-C. Those two alone for such a small venue. Can't do that shit. Felt too much like the TV episode, JR9. Yes. But even the Tuesday night in Orlando seems even better than that. James Shrimp Fajita is good. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Reese. Gail Kim's amazing, Reese. I've always loved that. And I knew when she went out of that battle royal, I knew something was not right. Find out she eliminated herself. And I was like, oh no, she's not going to be back for a while. Vince is going to hold on to that pettiness. But man, Jordynne Grace wanted her there. So this show starts off with a sexy red. I still don't know what a sexy red is. I think you guys told me hip-hop artist. Sound about right? Rap artist? Am I right? I'm not trying to... I'm throwing no insults here. I want to get her title right. Is it a hip-hop artist? Or do we just call her a rapper? One of you guys said recently she was trying to be like a Nicki Minaj knockoff or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. But sexy red. What exactly is she? Yeah, Lola Vice, Reese. Man, her character is just shaking her ass, and I'm actually okay with that. But she's a badass. She gets done with business first, then shakes her ass. All right. Well, while we're all trying to wonder what a sexy red even is, the rapper Demonte Ty Drew, we'll call her the rapper. Sexy Red is starting this show as the host. And she's cool, you know what I mean? I can't say I've ever listened to her music. I never have. Maybe it's catchy. But she's definitely somebody I would party with, right? I mean, she just seems so chill. She's on the microphone. She's like, hey. I mean, this is starting a pay-per-view, a PLE. And she's so chill. She's like, hey, how you guys doing? You guys good? We're going to party tonight. And then she just starts twerking. Like, she just turns to the hard cam. If you didn't want, this is what happened, man. How do you expect BC to review this? I got to tell you like it is. She turns to the hard cam, and she just starts twerking. She just starts shaking her ass. Now, Shawn Michaels is a Christian man. Shawn Michaels is screaming at production at this point. So the hard cam zooms in to get away from the twerking. It's not very often the hard cam zooms in. Maybe if like Rome last night was introducing the champion and challenger for the introductions, but the hard cam zooms in, but there's still Sexy Red's ass is so damn huge, not a problem, that it actually was clipping the hard cam still. So her ass was still in the frame. So then they switched to the D cam, which is the aerial shot. But you are not getting away from Sexy Red's assets. She was twerking away. Shawn Michaels is flipping out. And that's how we start the show. Sexy Red giving Shawn Michaels an absolute heart attack. You know, many people believe that's what the disconnect was with Mandy Rose and Shawn Michaels. Mandy Rose was doing the side gig, and Shawn Michaels was not liking it. So they gave her an ultimatum, like, listen, stop doing that, please. You're in a prominent role and position, champion. We can't have you doing that. Mandy Rose was like, no way, dude. Absolutely not, and kept doing it, something like that. But a lot of people believe that Shawn Michaels just did not believe in that type of stuff. But, dude, Sexy Red was starting that shit. Gruss 512, right? Gruss 512. This is Shawn Michaels out, right? When he gets home and tells his wife, I didn't hire Sexy Red. Frickin' Paul Levesque McMahon. He told me I had to put Sexy Red on there. Wife is like, you're on the couch, buddy. First matchup of the night was a 6-woman ladder match. Ladder match to crown the first ever NXT Women's North American Champion. Sol Ruca versus Jaida Parker versus Michin versus Fallon Henley versus Lash Legend. Versus Kelani Jordynne. How am I forgetting Kelani Jordynne? Bell time to this match, 12 minutes, 24 seconds. That was the official bell-to-bell time. 12 minutes, 24 seconds for 6 ladies in a ladder match. Doesn't sound like a lot of time, but wow, did they fit anything and everything in that 12 minutes and 24 seconds. This was a ballsy match with all that inexperience. Jordynne, if you combined, aside from Michin, if you combine the other 5 ladies, their experience would be well under 5 years, correct? Unless somebody has been doing this for years and just got a WWE opportunity. But Jordynne, if you put all 5, excluding Michin, Mia Yim, their experience is less than 5 years, correct? James Shrimp Fajitas, I didn't get the slow part at all. James, I thought it started out wild, man. But even more exceptional is that everybody was on the same. I don't care if you rehearse this 255 times. They knocked this out of the park from the jump. I think Fallon has a bit of experience, but the rest, yeah. So yeah, if you put all these ladies together, aside from a Michin, I mean, the inexperience is almost insurmountable. So this is you're putting these 6 ladies into a ladder match. You're almost putting them in a position where they're destined to fail. I don't see a way that this is going to come off good. I didn't. I felt bad for them to the point where I was like, I'm going to give them some leeway here. I know this is going to be really bad, most likely, but I'm going to give them a little bit of a mulligan, as long as it's not crazy bad. Guys, this was good. This was the match of the night for BC. Or up there with Rok-C and Jordynne Grace. They did so damn good, man. They went out there and they did the done diggity. Kelani Jordynne. Where did this girl come from? What in the world? She gets in the ring. She starts doing these gymnastic type introduction. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. Another gymnast. We get it. Tiffany is. We got her. Everybody else has a gymnast background. Only once in a while can they actually pull it off and check off every other box. Very rare do you get 2 at the same time. We got Tiffany Stratton recently, and now you got Kelani Jordynne. But the funniest moment in this match was 6 minutes into this. And I'm giving you guys exact minutes here. So if you ever want to go back and check it out, any of this. 6 minutes into this match, after nonstop fast-paced action, Lash Legend puts Michin into a sleeper hold. It literally popped BC, man. I had to LOL. We're in the middle of a ladder match. 6 individuals. High-octane, fast-paced action. And Lash just gets Michin into a sleeper hold. I'm thinking that's weird. That's awkward. You're not going to get very far if you're putting 1 out of 5 ladies asleep. All that time, you're letting all the other 4 get to their feet. But that wasn't the funniest part. The funniest part was Booker T. When Lash puts the sleeper hold on, Booker T looks at Vic Joseph, and Booker goes, yeah, man, that's not the right strategy right there, Vic. Oh, Booker T is a gem, bro. Because anybody watching was like, are we seeing a sleeper hold in a ladder match? Much less a 6-person ladder match. But Booker T going, yeah, Vic, that ain't the right strategy right there, bro, Vic. It was just such a real reaction from Booker T. Like, what are we doing here? What, a sleeper hold, Lash? Badass, man. Props to Lash, though. I got to give her props. About a minute later, all 5 gals literally picked her up and tossed Legend over the top rope onto a ladder that was laying out outside, and Lash bounced off like a basketball on the Celtics hardwood. She took a hit, man. She took that like a champ. So props over to Legend. That was wild. Sol Ruca's Soul Snatcher. Do I got that right, JR9? Soul Snatcher. Sol Ruca pulled out this move called the Soul Snatcher. It is literally one of my favorite moves in pro wrestling now. I couldn't believe what I just witnessed. And then she did it again. I think she did it to maybe Jaida Parker and Michin. But it's Sol Ruca. It's called a Soul Snatcher. And I was like, you can only do that if you're going to flawlessly, phenomenally hit it. If there's one little hiccup, everything is derailed. That was incredible, man. What in the world? And she's wrestling with a knee brace. She's not even 100% and she's pulling off that shit. That was wild, man. Easily, Deshaun in the chat. That is one of my favorite finishers, right up there with the RKO and maybe a couple 2-3 others. Easily one of my favorites. I could not believe that, how easily she pulled it off. It's like an inadvertent stunner, right? I mean, how else would you describe it? Inadvertent stunner is how I'm going to describe him. It was wild. I got to give a shout out over to Sol Ruca as well. And then Kelani Jordynne. Kelani Jordynne would grab the title from high above, man. And the new first ever Women's North American champion was Kelani Jordynne. I saw this girl from day one and I was like, maybe, but no. You know what I mean? Like cute face. The attire, the presentation is 60, 70%. Okay, maybe. And then I immediately thought, no thanks. Too many individuals on the main roster in NXT. Too many to be overshadowed by little Kelani Jordynne. And now, after last night, I'm like, that's a superstar in the making. That last night was her calling card. That was it. Last night, if you were not a believer or fully a believer like BC, you were after that. Kelani Jordynne's the real deal. If you haven't seen too much of Kalani's work, you might want to see this, man. I mean, she's, and I'm telling you right now, from what I saw last night, how they're booking her in the video package before and just her trajectory, this is WWE's new Sasha Banks. I'm telling you guys that. I already see what they're doing. I'm putting a few puzzle pieces together. WWE is looking at Kelani Jordynne to be their new Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, Mercedes Fernando. And I'm not just talking about their attire is almost identical as well. Their body type is almost identical. But I'm talking about booking wise. And her skill is already on par. I'm telling you, I'm not saying she checks off every box yet of Sasha in the ring. But how's her mic skills, JR9? Gruss 512. Oh, is Jordynne dating Mello? Mello and Kelani are dating. Well, there's your mixed tag match, right? Bianca Belair and Montez versus Kelani and Carmelo. JR9, how's her mic skills? Has she cut to a lot of interviews? Like good, 3-4 minute promos, or are they always kind of short and we don't know yet? Yeah, Melo's still growing on me. Melo needs solid booking before I can actually jump on board with anything he's doing, first of all. Once he gets the booking, and then we can really start to groove with Melo. He's a really good dude outside the ring. Not a bad word to say about Melo by any fan that I've ever heard. But in the ring, a lot of people are not captivated by Melo. I'm one of those individuals. I'm hoping that does change. Again, if he doesn't get proper booking, he's never going to get over. Right now, he's just losing all his matches. But he won one against Baron Corbin. That was it. So if he's just going to lose every week, fans can't even jump on board with him. Reese says, okay, she's dating Mello, and I know. Well, that's what everyone's telling me, Reese. It's news to me, but I think they're just because we're all learning about Kelani. She's dating Mello. That is a pretty big thing, actually, though, Reese. Because it's another tandem in WWE, and WWE will book them kind of together. They'll put them on the road together. They'll make booking decisions because of it. Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins will not be split up. Andrade got moved over because Charlotte will also go to the same brand as Andrade. Bianca and Montez will not be split up. They won't do that, and I'm sure you give it time, and you'll have what's his name, Ludwig and Tiffany Stratton. They'll mesh probably before Survivor Series. One's gonna mesh back. There'll be a switch up. That's a newer relationship, so I'm sure some plans were already in the works, so they couldn't get Tiffany over with Ludwig. So JR9 says a 3 out of 10 at best right now. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people give Sasha Banks. They say the one thing that's really hurting Sasha is mic skills. That hurts a lot of the female. That hurts a lot of the pro wrestlers, men and women today. The mic skills are not like they used to be with Roddy Piper, Ric Flair, Stone Cold, so many others. So it's not just the ladies at that fault either. But I'm telling you guys, man, WWE is looking at Kelani Jordynne as the next Sasha Banks. And that was their big statement victory last night, hoisting up that championship. Kelani Jordynne has arrived. This girl has the look, and she's really good in the ring. And guess what? Now she has a shiny new championship on her shoulder. So it's only looking up for Kelani. That first matchup, if I was doing a good, the bad, and the ugly, I might. Thankfully, I don't have to overthink this right now. I may have given that a great because these ladies from top to bottom nailed it. There was hardly any muff-ups, any botches. I mean, they were just, I don't care if you rehearsed this 226 times to put out a match. 6 ladies, most inexperienced, by the way, aside from Michin. And you're putting them all together on a PLE and a ladder match. You're setting them up for failure. And I'm not saying that HBK did that. HBK believes in them so much. That's why he did it. But to the naked eye, to the average fan, we're just thinking, there's no way this is going to be pulled off correctly. It was really good, man. JR9, what'd you think about that match, man? If you're newer to the channel, again, I don't know if this is open to the to non-Gold Card channel members, the live stream, but it will be when I put it up for playback afterwards. But if you're newer to the channel, JR9 is my right-hand man on the channel, but he's also, he would be the general manager of NXT if we were putting titles on this channel. With the pressure they had, with the inexperience, they killed it. Yes. Yeah. Man, like the match, just not sure on Kelani winning, but don't hate the call. Who would you put it on, JR9? Who's the title going to? By the way, Jaida Parker. Keeping an eye on her. Jaida Parker, man. That's another one. Everybody in here, man. Even Fallon Henley, which I gotta say, her character, why not just keep Mickie James? Sorry, Fallon. I hope Fallon becomes a huge star. I hope I become a huge supporter of Fallon Henley, by the way. Love the look. She nailed it last night. But with the whole cowboy, singing country kind of character, just keep Mickie James. Even at her age, Mickie, she's a MILF, but she's so damn good. Just keep Mickie James. You didn't have to fucking get rid of Mickie and then do a whole new character like Mickie. Oh, JC, but Soul in the match, but you would have had JC in it to collect it. Gotcha. By the way, JR9 is a huge JC supporter. So, GG, I heard JR9. GG was just injured. So, I'm hearing that there was no backstage turmoil with GG. The story got dropped and things changed because there was an injury with GG. So after that first matchup, the ladder match to crown the new NXT Women's North American Champion, Kelani Jordynne, then we went into an NXT Tag Team Championship match. Champions Axiom and Nathan Frazier. That's who it was, yes. Well, listen, you put these two together, and I'm like, let me just take I don't even do naps, but I'll pick up napping. How's that? I'll go outside and pick up a bad habit. I'll play in traffic. If you would have told me that I want to sit through 12, 15 minutes of Axiom and Nathan Frazier, no thank you. I understand they're good talents, but at first I just didn't need to see them in a tag. At the end of this match, I was like, damn, they work good together. They pulled this off pretty flawlessly. This was the champions, Axiom and Nathan Frazier versus Gallows and Anderson from the main roster. Bell time was 11 minutes, 36 seconds. Start to finish, 11 minutes, 36 seconds. The champions retain their gold titles. Karl Anderson is pinned by Frazier off a super Spanish fly and Phoenix splash combo. So I believe it was Axiom got the super Spanish fly, and then Frazier hit the Phoenix splash. JR9, correct me if I'm flipping it, but I think that's exactly what happened. And then Karl Anderson was pinned. So Gallows and Anderson lose even in NXT. So what we got from this matchup is, or at least what we learned from it, is that Axiom and Nathan Frazier are really good together. And number two, what we learned is that Anderson and Gallows still have it. You still got it. So why are we booking them? They're not even on the shows on the main roster. They come out once in a while to assist AJ Styles. But they can still go. I'm not saying this was match of the night or a match that captivated me like no other. But with a match that I had the Sharpie and the notepad in hand, it was one of those matchups where when it started, I was like, oh, can we just get this one over with? And by the time it was done, I was like, oh, it was not bad at all. But Gallows and Anderson, I just feel like they're not all washed up yet. I think that before we hear that they've been released again, because don't forget, guys, they were released already. AJ Styles pulled heavy for them to come back. But before we hear that they're released again, I really hope that Paul Levesque McMahon gives them a solid chance to do something, man. They have a solid run, at least one more run in them. Because what we saw last night is they still can hang. And that's with two dudes flying all over the place like Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Then we spent about 5 minutes talking about SummerSlam 2026 in Minnesota, I believe, Minneapolis. 5 minutes talking about SummerSlam 2026, guys. Not 25 next, 2026. And it's always good to look ahead, but I'm thinking, like, can we just get through 2024? Can we have a 2025 first, right? 2026, what's next? Are we next week on Raw? Are we going to start promoting WrestleMania 2045? Survivor Series 2039? 2026. 5 minutes we spend promoting SummerSlam 2026. And in case you guys don't know why we're doing that, WWE went back on their word with, it's Minneapolis, correct? They went back on their word with them. That was supposed to be hosting WrestleMania next year. Instead, they gave it to Vegas because Nick Khan and all the suits and ties, the powers that be, they were so mortified by what happened in Philadelphia this year. It was so cold on night one that they vowed never to put WrestleMania back in a cold place. So they switched. They confirmed it with Vegas, and Minneapolis was like, wait a second, we were this close. We just had to dot the I's, cross the T's. So they said, no, don't. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to give you 2 nights of SummerSlam, and we're going to start promoting it now. But that was the real thing, man. That was wild, dude. So that was 5 minutes there. And then we went into our third bout. This was an NXT Underground fight. Shayna Baszler versus Lola Vice. Both involved in mixed martial arts before pro wrestling, by the way. So this makes a ton of sense. Now, fight time, bell to bell, was 10 minutes, 23 seconds. That's how long it took to decide a winner. 10 minutes, 23 seconds. This could have been so bad, right? But it was so good. Could have been so bad because doing a mock UFC fight wrestling match is hard to do, and it usually comes off as a failure. because you're trying to show everyone that you're really fighting in a choreographed setting, right? Pro wrestling. We've seen so many times them try to do a shoot fight and it just comes off really bad. So this could have been really bad. These two ladies knocked it out of the park. That's why I say the women took over last night. It wasn't just that first match. It's not about just what we're about to get to with Jordynne and Rok-C. I mean, even Shayna and Lola, for what they were given, right? If you totally couldn't stand it, I hear you. It's not their fault. This is how they were booked. They took off the ropes and they tried to do an underground shoot fight. It wasn't their idea. Even if they say they pushed for it. Shawn Michaels, Paul Levesque, McMahon, they all signed off. That's what they wanted to do inside of that UFC venue. But they did damn good, man. These two did so good at making us believe that they were fighting. Of course, basically I could tell they weren't laying into. Of course, it's WWE, man. You can't lay into it. But there was many times where they were taking what normal individuals would look like 60% connection. They were making it 80, 90. Those hammer fists that Lola was doing at the end of that fight, those were pretty badass. And that ultimately, by the way, defeated Baszler. Lola defeats Baszler via hammer fist referee stoppage. And the setup to that on the outside is Baszler tripped over one of the wrestling hands that were kind of pumping up the match the entire time. He fell or was landed on, and Shayna trips over him and goes headfirst into the steel steps. Moments later, she's getting the hammer fist. And then post-match, Lola just starts shaking her ass. I mean, Lola Vice, she knows what she's got. So she's badass, right? She's a legit fighter, like even before wrestling. She takes out Baszler, she conducts her business, and then she starts just shaking her ass and like twerking and stuff. And I was like, there was a moment backstage. She went backstage for an interview. Sexy Red comes up. Now, mind you, Sexy Red was twerking at the start of the show, giving Shawn Michaels a heart attack. So then Lola does an interview. Sexy comes up. Sexy tells Lola to start twerking with her and shaking their ass. They get Sarah Schreiber to start shaking her ass. All three of them start twerking. And Michaels is probably screaming at her to get off, go dark, go dark. And we before Sarah can really get into it, we cut the segment. But I mean, NXT turned into a twerk fest last night. All these females shaking their asses, and I'm like, how do I put this in my notes? It was great, man. Listen, if you're a dude, it was great, right? You got your coffee in your right hand, you got your clearly Canadian, maybe it was a wild cherry in your left hand. You got your feet kicked up and you're like, dude, ladies, do your thing. Do what you got to do. Hopefully there's no young kids watching. You don't want to raise them like that, like that's a thing to do. But if you're a grown-up dude, that was pretty fun. Or hey, it's 2024. Maybe the ladies were loving it too. But Lola is shaking what Mama gave her, right? Lola was shaking those assets, and she's got them. That is a thiggity. Hell yeah. Salute to Lola. Now, somebody in the chat, one of my gold carders, was it James Shrimp Fajitas? The wrong lady won, in my opinion. James, totally hear you. You feel so bad for Shayna. But think of it like this, James Shrimp Fajitas. If Lola lost, we wouldn't have gotten the thickety. Fuck yeah. We wouldn't have gotten that, man. Or the post-match shakedown. There you go. See that? Reese, yes. Yeah, I noticed that on NXT television a couple weeks ago. After she won, she started twerking and shaking her ass. And I was like, all right. I'm a fan. Count me in with her. Lola Vice. Yes. One of my favorites now. Too funny, man. The twerking every week with her is a little obnoxious. Don't mind every once in a while, but not every segment, JR9. Well, that's what I noticed a couple weeks ago, JR9. I said, wait, that's her character, man. She's going to shake her ass. You know, and it's always going to be, people are going to flip-flop and be hypocrites, right? So when people start talking about how nice an ass she has or her shaking her ass, they're going to go, oh, don't talk about the ladies like that. They're wrestlers. Talk about their wrestling. Her character, JR9 will tell you. He watches NXT. I've only seen Lola a few times, and I can tell you her character is that dancing, twerking, shake her ass character, man. take care of business in the ring, and then shake that ass afterwards and party. That's her character. So nobody's supposed to talk about her shaking her ass when that's literally what she does? The host of the show is starting the show shaking her ass. The middle of the show after a match, this girl's shaking her ass. Backstage, they're all shaking their asses. But we're only supposed to talk about the wrestling action. No, that's what's happening on the shows, man. NXT has turned into a twerk fest. Now, on one hand, you want to say, damn, man, I feel bad for like parents who have kids watching, and like that's not what you want to see, right? All these ladies shaking their asses. It does not. You don't want to sound like the old guy on the bench, but that's not the way you want your kids to view what they hope to one day aspire to be, a pro wrestler. I get it. But on the other hand, it's fun, man. You know, you got sexy ladies shaking their ass. Well, hey, let's do it. Yeah, JR9 didn't. Yeah. That's like her thing. MMA as well. That's Lola Vice's shtick, and it works perfectly in pro wrestling. But anyway, guys, that's what happened. Lola knocked out Shayna. Referee stoppage off the hammer fists. And afterwards, we got a dance party. And backstage, more of a dance party. Again, that was 10 minutes, 23 seconds, Lola. So that's what I mean about the ladies were just crushing it last night. NXT North American Championship was up next for the dudes. Wes Lee versus Joe Coffey versus champion Oba Femi. Bell time was 12 minutes, 14 seconds start to finish. This was a decent match. I'm not a fan of too many schmaz matches on one card. I'm not a fan of schmaz matches, period, especially multiple on one card. You had the ladies doing their thing, 6 of them earlier. Now you had a third wheel in this match. But more than that, it was the finish itself. It was anticlimactic as Oba just pins Coffey off a pop-up powerbomb. Again, match was decent. No problem with the match. Not a fan, again, of the triple threats all the time. I said this about the main roster all the time, every week that they do it. But it's the finish, man. Oba Femi just a pop-up powerbomb, and that was it. But the ultimate goal of Shawn Michaels was to achieve Oba looking like a beast. So in that aspect, for many, maybe he did achieve that, right? Shawn Michaels achieved his ultimate goal, making Oba look like a beast, right? He took out 2 people. And he took out Wes Lee first, and then he did the pop-up powerbomb to Coffey, and then he wins. So maybe they wanted it to be simplistic like that. Just a pop-up powerbomb, you're done. So maybe that's exactly what they were going for. I just... all 3 on their own, it's just hard for me to really care too much about Joe Coffey. Or even Oba. Or Wes Lee. I need a little bit more. So putting them all together and having that finish, I can't say that this is... If we were doing a good, bad, and ugly, I would just leave it up to you guys. Definitely not ugly. Match was decent. Finish was left way more to be desired. I would leave it to you guys in deciding if it was good or bad. I see something there with Oba, though. I'm not there with him yet, but there's something there, man. The way he's moving to his music when he comes out, like it looks like he's getting this a lot quicker than even like another big dude we just saw that is unfortunately not booked because nobody cares, and that is Omaz. But Oba, it looks like he picks this up real quickly, man, or at least he is. That's why I think he could have handled a much better finish. But that's it. Pop-up powerbomb, pretty simplistic, and he is still a big fan of Oba versus JR9. Just needs a little bit more. Yeah. Booking JR9. Maybe if we just had a decent finish, I'd be like, damn, did you see Oba wreck these dudes? But it was all said and done, I didn't get that at all. He didn't really wreck them. Pop-up powerbomb, and he got a pinfall. Reese, where does Oba Femi go from here? JR9. That's a good question by Reese. JR9 usually has these... JR9 for NXT usually has he's seeing like BCCs for the main roster and other promotion. JR9 usually is seeing many steps ahead. So what do you think Oba's next mission? And who takes it from Oba? JR9, yeah, I do believe West versus Oba one-on-one. Just do that. And I bet you it would have been a lot better, too. Yeah, Deshaun, he is a beast, though. And again, Shawn Michaels, Deshaun, I think his ultimate goal was just to book him to be, when it was all said and done, just be a beast. So the finish could have reflected that a little bit more by being more diabolical and not just a pop-up powerbomb. Interesting. Well, we'll see. Next up was this one. I got to get a sip for this, man. NXT Women's Championship, Rok-C versus Jordynne Grace, TNA Knockouts Champion. Here we go, man. Bell time for Rok-C. Roxanne Perez versus Jordynne Grace. This was not the main event. It was right before Ethan and Trick. Bell time was 13 minutes. 13 minutes for this matchup. A crowd is chanting, "This is awesome" from the jump. I agree, but I was thinking more than anything, this is just unreal. This is surreal. That TNA Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace, is inside and wrestling on an NXT WWE PLE. I've been talking about this for a long time, Jordynne Grace, and her getting an opportunity like this, and to see it happening to one of, and she's against one of these individuals in Rok-C that I put on the highest of pedestals. I have always spoken so highly, even before she was signed to WWE NXT, about Rok-C. To this day, I call her Rok-C. That's not out of disrespect because she's Roxanne Perez now. It's because we all know she was doing that due diggity way beforehand as Rok-C. And there's no way I would disrespect her by not propping up that name of Rok-C. And then Jordynne Grace, I've always spoken. So for BC, this is one of those matches I just had to take a moment and go, man, sometimes in pro wrestling, all is just right. All is just right. Jordynne versus Rok-C, let's let him do it. Jordynne Grace in a WWE ring, man. Damn. There was an awkward sequence 2 minutes into this, exactly 2 minutes in, where Rok-C was going to go for a powerbomb on Grace. Grace was up on the turnbuckle, second rope, but Grace was like, no, didn't want to go. So then Jordynne tries to sweep her leg, doesn't want to go. Or swept the leg, didn't want to go, then powerbomb, didn't want to go. So then took Grace's arm and ripped it down to where Grace's face hits the top turnbuckle. And then drags the arm to where her face hits the canvas. And then when we see Grace next, she's bleeding, right? She's busted up, it looked like from the mouth. And she tells the ref, it looked like she said, "I fucked up." That's what it looked like she told the ref. However, BC's got you. When I say this is the best review you're going to come across, when I say that I go in depth for you guys, I dissect this shit like no other, this is what I mean. Because upon my research, upon many replays, upon review, it was the exchange beforehand where it looked like Grace's earring was ripped off. She went to chuck Rok-C, and it looked like her earring got ripped off. And the blood would kind of back that up as it was coming toward that ear. So it was not, I don't know if Grace actually fucked up or not. It looks like that's what she told the ref, but the earring is what got ripped up, and that's what the blood that you saw, it was from her earring. In fact, you guys ready for this? If you ever wondered how detailed BC's reviews are, 2 minutes later, so guys, 4 minutes into this match, okay, you can go back and view it yourself. That was 2 minutes when she got the earring ripped up. 4 minutes into this match, which was 2 minutes later, you actually see the referee find the earring, pick it up, and put it in his pocket. Come on, bro. BC's got you. BC's got you, bro. I told you I got you, unit. Gold team. That's why you gold, bro. There ain't no better in this industry. BC's at the top of the BC's at the top of the top because this is what I do. I dissect every part of it. I saw that referee. He picked it up like it was a diamond in the rough. Looked at it. Tried to hide it from Jordynne. Put it in his pocket. Too funny, man. Too funny. And then you see the finish of this match, and it was just such a fun match with them. Easily, this could have gone off the rails because you have such power in Jordynne, and this little finessed Rok-C, who sometimes rushes the action when she doesn't need to. She is so good, she just needs to slow it down. She's going to be just fine, on pace with everyone else. But it didn't go off the rails ever, because Jordynne Grace, even for her size, is so damn good. So they were always meeting in the middle, and they were doing some really good wrestling sequences in there. And 13 minutes into this match, we saw the finish. Paxley comes out. Paxley, just like you said, JR9. Paxley comes out and grabs the TNA championship. So she's setting up the matchup with Jordynne in TNA. So now NXT is going to send talent to TNA in the form of Paxley. So she steals the championship. She goes up the aisleway. But Dana Brooke returns to WWE. Dana Brooke at NXT Battleground. Ash by Elegance. And it was a scripted line by Vic Joseph, just like he said with Ethan Page a week or two ago when he said, "That's AE," and then all of a sudden music hit. That was a scripted line mentioning AE but not the W, and this was a scripted line. "That's Ash by Elegance from TNA." So he went to say Dana, they just want to like blur the lines. So that was well done by Vic Joseph, by Shawn Michaels for scripting that line in there. But Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance, comes out. She grabs the title from Paxley, or tries to. She's pissed off. She's like, "This is not yours. You're part of NXT. I may not like Jordynne Grace. We may be best friends. Who knows? What I do know is you ain't taking our championship. That's our business." And Paxley won't give it up, though. So Jordynne comes out. Jordynne takes them both out with the championship. Drops Paxley, drops Ash by Dana Brooke Elegance, and then gets into the ring where she goes for the Juggernaut, but it's reversed into the Pop Rocks. And Jordynne cannot get up from that. Looks up at the lights 1, looks up at the lights 2, looks up at the lights for that final third count. Rok-C, Roxanne Perez, wins and retains that NXT Women's Championship. Rok-C, Roxanne Perez pinned Jordynne Grace. I said this a few uploads ago. I said there just ain't no way. As much as I love Rok-C, and they're going to come, they have to find a way for Rok-C to win this, because Jordynne can't come into an NXT event and beat the NXT Women's Champion. So they're going to have to find a way for Rok-C to win this. The problem is there's no believable way that Rok-C is going to beat Jordynne Grace. But they found a way to do it. Is it totally believable, that pinfall for BC? No. I would have gone even more extreme. I would have had it even harder for Rok-C to win. Even that was too simplistic. A little bit of a distraction, but then she gets back in, still gets up Rok-C to set up her move, and then it was reversed. It wasn't like she just got in the ring and got a super kick, stunned, and then pop rocks. She still set up her move. A little bit more I would have actually done, man, because Jordynne Grace is such a motherfucking beast. And Rok-C winning is the right call, because, again, I don't see how Jordynne Grace can come in and defeat Rok-C in her own NXT venue. But, man, just that one Pop Rocks, just because of that distraction, I see what they're doing. They're setting up that matchup with Paxley. You're also setting up Ash by Elegance, and maybe even Paxley, and definitely Ash and TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace. So you're setting up a lot. Even Rok-C said afterwards, Rok-C wants to face Jordynne in TNA, inside of a TNA wrestling ring. So down the line, you could see that. So you set up a bunch of things. I just would have wanted a more diabolical finish. But for this matchup, man, I gotta say, first of all, 17-month member. I want to make sure I get these right when they come in, because this is for you guys, this live stream, for all of my channel members. So I want to make sure I get that 17-month from, who is that? Jack Brewer, one of my first ever channel members, by the way. So that means we've been doing this for 17 legit months. Jack Brewer, proud to be a member of the Gold unit since the beginning. Grace and Roxanne delivered. Did not like the finish, but great match. Jack, that channel membership chat came in as I was just saying I would have done way more for the finish. So we're on the same page for that finish, bro. The match, phenomenal. The finish, we had to do a little bit more because this is Jordynne Grace. not just some average individual who just got distracted and took a Pop Rocks. Yeah, man, that is wild. JR9, glad they protected the finisher of Rok-C and Jordynne. My guess, I just don't think a Pop Rocks is taking out Jordynne Grace. I just don't see it, man. And that's my girl, Rok-C. You know that from day one. I love Pop Rocks, but Jordynne Grace is not, it's not even a Kelani Jordynne, who I just became a huge supporter of last night, Kelani Jordynne. This ain't Kelani Jordynne. This ain't even Becky Lynch. This is Jordynne motherfucking Grace. You better be hitting her with 3 Pop Rocks. This is a beast. So I hear you. I just, man, a little bit something more. She's too damn, she's a megastar, man. She was the talking point more than the main event itself with Ethan and Trick. Like, that match had the most interaction, most everything was all about Jordynne and Rok-C. Yeah, Reese, Rok-C winning more than okay with, kind of has to happen. More than just 1 Pop Rocks. And usually I hate finishers being overexposed like JR9 is talking about. Jack Brewer, again, man, 17 months, literally. You and JR9 were like a 1-2, but you were the first gold carders, man, 17 months ago. Salute. Yeah, I hope it's definitely not the last we see of Jordynne Grace in NXT or WWE. There's too many good matches, man. You got to see Jordynne Grace and Rhea Ripley in the future. Even Charlie, man. Put Charlie in there. I got to see Jordynne Grace and Bianca Belair. There's too many really good matchups you can have. I don't care if you stuff it at Raw or put it on a PLE. But it's got to happen. And again, guys, everyone's talking about Dana Brooke because she was on the show, but Gail Kim being there live to watch it and seeing her in some of the background of some of the shots that they had and a lot of the photos. Just seeing Gail Kim allowed back in WWE after what she did many years ago. And some say they don't blame her because her booking was so off. So she eliminated herself from that battle royal and she never came back to WWE, never was welcomed back. But to see her allowed and there looking as beautiful as ever and so proud of Jordynne Grace, who she has given so much help to over the years. It was so good to see Gail Kim back in a venue inside the walls of a place where WWE was putting on a show. The main event. This was an NXT. What are we on time? Are we good on time? Hour 12. All right. NXT championship matchup. Main event. Ethan Page, the challenger, versus champion Trick Williams. Bell time start to finish was 12 minutes, 12 seconds. So right there, I just want to let you guys see that, right? And the main roster, you'll always see this running theme. Every match is usually approximately 11 minutes, or it averages out. One match will get a minute more, one match a minute less, a couple minutes less here, a couple minutes over. It always averages around 11. NXT averaged exactly 12 minutes last night. 12 minutes per match. Matchup number 1 was exactly 12 minutes, 24 seconds. Match number 2, 11 minutes, 33 seconds. Match 3, a minute under at 10:23. And then the NXT North American match 4 was 12:14. NXT Women's Championship 13. And NXT main event, Ethan versus Trick, is 12:12. So the 10-minute underground women's fight and then the 13-minute women's championship match evened out to 12 as well. And then the other 4 matches were all 12. So just something to look at there when they're going over the whole card and how to script it out. Every match basically got a 12-minute limit. 12 minutes, 12 seconds for the main event. This was a decent match. Man, I don't want to nitpick it, and I may be the only one here, but I expected a lot more from this match. A lot more. I really did. And it's another one of those finishes which just catches me off guard as so lackluster. Out of nowhere, you just got Trick Williams hitting his trick shot, knee to the dome piece. Trick shot. Out of nowhere. And that's fine if it's like an RKO. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I've seen Daniel Bryan doing 1,000 times. I don't know. But this just, Ethan Page is taken out with a trick shot. 1, 2, 3. And then Sexy Red comes out. and Sexy Red starts dancing with Trick Williams, and we go off the air. It was just like, whoa, hold on, wait, that's the show? It left way more to be desired, guys. I really was hoping for a lot more substance. But it's the right call, Ethan. I wouldn't have minded if they put the title on Ethan. Trick would have been fine. This dude's getting so over. You can put him on the main roster and see if he sinks or swims. He's probably going to swim just fine. So I wouldn't have minded if they wanted to catapult that real quickly to Ethan, but the right call is to keep it on Trick. The whole thing was for Ethan and him to put on an exhibition. He skipped the line. Don't worry, he's not going to win the title anyway. This is just to pass some time over the Heat Wave and moving forward. So it was the right call. Again, Ethan Page has so much momentum. Just to watch that simplistic victory, it was odd to me. Sexy Red comes in, starts dancing, and we go off the air. I'm like, couldn't you plan a little bit more of a fun finish? I don't know. Sir Charles! What up, Sir Charles? Hopefully, are you just joining in? Sir Charles, Gold Team! Sir Charles says, the first thing I see from Sir Charles, who the fuck is Sexy Red? That's funny. Reese says, Trick versus Ethan, I'm not going to lie, bored me, and I'm a fan of both of them. Reese, it was about 3 or 4 minutes in, I was kind of like, I found myself kind of solely looking at the Yankees-Dodgers game. Like, you know, and up to that point, it was very competitive between the two. That was the first time where I was kind of like, this isn't doing it for me. I don't know. They worked okay together, even well together. You know, the one spot they showed in the replay 4 different times was the table spot with Ethan and Trick. That was it. So it's almost like, was there nothing else in the match? No, it was that what everything led to that one table spot and then the finish. What up, Sir Charles? We amped up, bro. We amped up. Hopefully you caught, or try to catch the beginning of this too, man. I give a big shout out, thank you to Sir Charles, you and all the channel members, man. Everybody with a gold card. Jer9, I fully agree, man. I fully agree. But the dude found a way to get over, so I don't want to nitpick him too much. But, you know, everybody thought Mello was going to be the guy, and I was like, whoa, hold on, guys. Trick is actually, like, rocking it. Even though he's a sidekick, if you give him a chance, I mean, the fans are, like, really behind this dude. Like, I'm not even a huge fan at all, or even big of Trick Williams, not by a landslide. But, I mean, he's over. People love the whoop that Trick. He's got the look. He's got the smarts for this already. It's just, yeah, there's a few boxes he still has to check off, man. When he was in that promo battle last week with Ethan had him stumbling over his words. That's not good. It's not good at all. And that's the common theme with a lot of wrestlers today. They're just not good on the microphone. You know what I mean? And that's a natural it factor, it's called. A lot of these wrestlers, they don't have an it factor. They can go to school. You can go to school and learn everything that the school and the professors and the teachers teach you. But if you don't have it from within, you can only go so far, right? You have, in pro wrestling, you have to have at least some of that it factor. Possibly James Shrimp Fajitas. That could be a good way to put it. Absolutely a good way to put it. But this show as a whole, again, the dude's a little bit lackluster, especially for the finishes. But the triple threat, the main event, the tag match, they were all decent to good, but nothing I would need to go back and see, or nothing that's really too newsworthy. It was the ladies, man. Lola dropping Shayna like she did, Rok-C and Jordynne, please. That was just seeing them. You just knew history was being made, and knowing that Gail Kim was watching this live inside of a WWE venue. You got Ash by Elegance coming out. You totally forgot like how many possibilities this opens up with TNA and NXT working together. In that first match, that 6-pack ladder match, man, 6 women, one championship ladder match, and they all nearly flawlessly delivered. And a breakout star, if not all of them. So Ruca, Jaida, all of them just showed me so much. But Kelani, Jordynne, I mean, this is a star that's being created right in front of our eyes. The women took over this show last night. Now, for BC anyway, that's exactly how it came across. The women absolutely stole this show. And that's one of those things where NXT does a really good job, man, showcasing their ladies. JR9, this past Tuesday was almost all, it was a female-dominated show, was it not, on Tuesday night? I mean, every time I would see anything, it was the chicks, and I was like, damn, all right. And I noticed a lot of weeks it's like that with NXT. They really put the focus on the ladies. Anyway, good job by Shawn Michaels putting those ladies first and foremost, and an even better job by the ladies delivering, man. That was one hell of a performance by all of them. To the NXT and TNA females, you rocked it out. You put on one heck of a show. To the dudes, you rocked it out too. You just got overshadowed by the ladies. Salute. If you don't mind, I would like to stick around for a minute and give a shout out to some super chats I saw come in earlier. I just got to get them up. Hold on. Where are we? Carlos Ray, man. Gold team. Carlos says, gonna have to miss this one, brother. But I'll be listening. Much love and respect for you and the chat. Salute. Carlos. So this was right before we went live, guys. Carlos wasn't able to stick around, but this is why I always say, man, stop by, even if it's to say what's up. If you got that gold card, even if you can't stick around, stop by so I can at least acknowledge and say what's up. Thank you. You know, that's what these streams are for all my gold card unit. It's for BC to say thank you, man, because it's really special how you guys support the channel. So Carlos couldn't stick around, but he did me that solid. He stopped by to say what's up. So I can say, Carlos, thank you, dude. Salute. Thank you for the support monthly and even before we were doing memberships. Thank you for the support. Everybody, give some props over to Carlos, please. I don't care if it's the lightning bolts like Sir Charles got rocking. I don't care if it's Coffees. I don't care if you're putting up the bicep. I don't care if you just got finished working out like BC or not. Put up the biceps, put up the lightning bolts, put up the coffee, put up some love, put up some hearts, anything for Carlos, man. He's been with us not from day one-ish, but from day one. So if Carlos is able to check this out afterwards, I want him to know that we gave him that love right back. Jordynne, thank you. The fire. There you go. Don't worry, Carlos. You're not fired. You are absolutely appreciated, dude. Big time. Alicia, thank you, Alicia. Anthony Bowley, Anthony. I didn't see Anthony earlier, by the way. Anthony Bowley, appreciate it. Pimp Jesus, James, Shrimp Fajitas, Jack Brewer. Yes. So anyway, Carlos, appreciate you, dude. That's all I ever tell you guys. Even on this Saturday, man, when I open the chat up to all of my subscribers, not just channel members, as long as you're subscribed for 4 weeks at least. That's the rule on the channel. You have to be subscribed for at least 4 weeks to be able to chat because it's just the amplified rule. You know, we got to make sure that you're badass, amplified, right? No bitch boy Bradens. So you gotta be on board for 4 weeks before you're allowed to start chatting with my amplified unit. So, but don't worry. If you're not subscribed now, you'll be able to chat by SummerSlam, even way before SummerSlam, I believe. So, but that's why I always tell you guys, man, stop by, say what's up. Ms. Flawless Stone. I need WWE stars to go to TNA already. WWE can't have all the fun. With your handsome, brilliant, magnificent, high intellect that you have. Unlike Paul Triple H. I don't have any control over that, unfortunately. But you're getting Paxley over to TNA to take on Jordynne, Ms. Flawless Stone. I don't know. Rok-C says she wants to face Jordynne inside of a TNA ring. Hopefully they can get that happening. But I mean, Jordynne would then have to win. I don't think Michaels is going to allow that. Ray Hunt, by the way. Ray Hunt, Russ 512 up in here. Too funny. I got all the clearly Canadian flavors. I know, I just picked one randomly. Thankfully, it was the wild cherry, one of my favorites. So I thought it was going to be another mountain blackberry. The last 6 I had over the last 3 hours have all been mountain blackberry. Carlos! Thank you, dude. JR9 Gaming. With that 5-spot coffee says it's Clash Week. Let's go. Also, Rok-C's counter to Jordynne's finish was brilliant. Rok-C is simply the best in the world. All roads lead to Julia now. Yeah, you said that Julia thing, and now I got it locked in that it has to be Julia now. So you implemented that, JR9. Now I don't see any way that I still want to see AJ after what happened with CM Punk and Rok-C last night. I kind of want to see AJ lead to an exhibition match with Rok-C, lose or make sure Rok-C keeps the title. But if they want to give it to AJ, I'm fine with it. But that's another little stone to get over to Julia if that's happening. But yeah, the Pop Rocks was to put the Pop Rocks onto Jordynne Grace is what just looked phenomenal, and Grace took it with such grace. I just wish we got another one, even if, I'm not saying Grace had to kick out, by the way, but maybe just on your own, do a second Pop Rocks for added insurance, and she's not getting up. So then at least you think, well, I wonder if she would have gotten up after just one. Rok-C wasn't going to take the chance. JR9, Sam Byers, a couple of 5 spots, man. 5 for a coffee, 5 for some clearly Canadians. Sam Byers, man. I see those super emojis. Much love and respect right back to you, Sam Byers. Always great to see you up in here when we do these live streams. Appreciate you big time. Joker716, 2 spots, says non-member, saying we're all here, BC. Amp unit. Salute. Joker716. Okay, so this did get out to some non-channel members, thankfully. That is good. Because I wanted non-channel members to be able to at least watch or listen into the stream. But I know sometimes the settings are just off. It doesn't hit subscription boxes lately. And that's a thing, guys. Make sure you're subscribed. As Reese just told us. Reese, still up in the chat? Yes. Reese, I think it was Reese anyway. That she was taken off the original chat because she was unsubscribed. And that's what the tube does. It's been unsubscribing people from the channel nonstop. So you got to make sure you're actually, because then you can't chat, because again, you have to be subscribed for 4 weeks before you can chat. I hope that makes sense. So that's a glitch within the tube, guys. That ain't BC taking you off, I assure you. So, and it sucks because I always hate saying, make sure you're subscribed. I hate that YouTuber. I always hate that. But lately I have no choice but to remind people, because people like Reese, they're being booted by the tube. And then you got to wait another 4 weeks. So, yeah, just always make sure, guys. It sucks. That's one of many glitches right now. The last upload I put up, guys, I put up a SmackDown review. Most of you guys probably didn't know that. You know why? It didn't go into 90% of recommendations or in the next vid up category. So when you watch an upload and then it's in like recommendations or anything like that, 90% I found out didn't even go into. So now that could have been a little bit of my fault. I was super amplified in that upload. And I know the tube has told me you can't really do that because it muffs up with the algorithm checks, and it'll think like I'm cursing even when I'm not because I'm really amplified. So maybe I didn't help matters. I may have gotten some checklist violations there, but the point is it didn't even go out to a lot of people. So if you were able to catch that SmackDown review, because not many people even had the chance to, if you were able to, I appreciate the love that you guys gave that last upload. Yeah, but pretty much, Sir Charles. But at least they did tell me, like, in many ways, like when you're super amplified, the checklist kind of picks up things even when it's not there. So, oops. Still, man, that's not, hey, listen, I call that another YouTube glitch. Joker716, and to all my non-channel members, man, thank you guys. either live or afterwards. I know most of you guys are going to catch this over the next 24 hours. I get it. This was only on a half an hour notice. But thank you, just like I'm thanking my live crew, my live gold members, my live non-channel members. Thank you. JR9, I appreciate it. I can't tell you that I wasn't double fisting a lot of things, man. A lot of coffees, and maybe there was some open clearly Canadians. I was on one with that review, man. I pretty much knew in the first 30 seconds we were kind of going to get in trouble with the tube there. We're going to tick off a lot of people, or it's not going to go out to a lot of people. I pretty much knew that. But you guys still represented, man. That was still on the way to like 300 up still. You guys really still, for who was able to catch that, you guys definitely showed up on that. JR9, by the way. JR9 with a 2-spot says, Cody teased that he'll head to NXT on Tuesday. I saw that. They put that on the show last night. He was talking about something. Oh, yeah, like seeing his good buddy Ethan Page. And then he's like, maybe I got to stop by Orlando and check out my good buddies Shawn Michaels and Vic Joseph. But it's enough of a tease there. You know what I think it is too, JR9? It could be many things. Maybe he's just in Orlando on that night and they're going to utilize him. I think they kind of smell blood there on AEW. I think they understand that AEW pulled 790,000 viewers. I think they know that they pulled 768. And they're like, wow, we are 22,000 viewers away from AEW. And they're like, I mean, if we just get one main ride, if we get like a Cody Rhodes appearance, there's a possibility that NXT could actually defeat AEW this week in the ratings. So that could be a reason that they're even teasing Cody Rhodes. Kind of can't blame them too much. I mean, when you're that close to AEW, I mean, man, you're a puzzle piece away. And you're coming off, it's going to be the post-Battleground show. I mean, this could be the week where NXT possibly does some damage over to AEW. Remains to be seen. Sure, I got everybody there too. Hold on. So yeah, I think I got everybody. Let me just give a shout out to everybody in this chat right now too who's got that gold card, man. Again, James Shrimp Fajitas. This is just who I see. If I'm missing anybody, my bad. But James Shrimp Fajitas, JR9 Gaming, Gruss 512, Sir Charles, Pimp Jesus, Reese Monet, Ms. Flawless Stone. We got Anthony Bowley. Carlos Ray. Again, I don't know if you were able to come back after the beginning of this, but much love, respect over to Carlos. Deshaun Sanders. DeMonte Ty Drew. Go Jackets. Jack Brewer. Alicia Vukovic. D. Brown got his membership back. D. Brown got that gold card back, bro. And to everybody that's going to get their gold card, either for the first time or get it back over the next 24 hours. Much love and respect to you guys, man, obviously. Where'd I leave off? Yeah, I got Jack Bro. Ray Hunt. Spicy Mama McCaleb. Spicy Mama. Spicy Mama, did you have a channel membership earlier that I didn't see? Channel membership milestone? If I missed that, my bad. Spicy Mama McCaleb. Sometimes if I don't catch the super chat or the super member chats, it'll actually it goes into thin air. JR9, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for being right there when I got all the questions, bro. I definitely needed you on the NXT one for sure. Spicy Mama. Oh, yeah, it's not letting me see that, Spicy Mama. I appreciate it big time. I might get it afterwards. Sometimes it'll put it in a separate list afterwards, but it's not letting me go back now. But I did see it. I will look out for it, Spicy Mama. I'm just glad you were able to catch this, and thank you big time for the membership, man. Every month, chucking a coffee at the channel. Colin was up in here, by the way, and Dante Jaron, man. All right, here's my unit. Dante Jaron 23. Colin. I know I don't got the Fink voice rocking right now. Who was that? Who wants that in the Deshaun? I don't have it rocking right now, man. I gave you guys everything in that two streams ago, I think it was. That last live stream, I think we finked it out. Much love, Spicy Bob. I appreciate that. Hopefully I do get that afterwards anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys kick the rest of Monday's ass where you've got many hours before Raw, so you're plenty good. All your errands, everything you guys got to do. I didn't keep you here too long, about an hour and a half-ish. I appreciate you guys big time, man. These are the ones that I enjoy the most, when I could get the gold carders together, and even the gold carders that didn't catch it live. Just know that these type of streams, these are for you, man. It's my way to say thank you right back. And soon, this took an hour and a half plus. Soon we're going to do a full roll call of all of my channel members, man. It takes about 20 minutes. We'll put it at the end of an upload or something on a live stream maybe. But we will do a full roll call, man. I always love doing that. I got a couple bevies. I got the full channel membership list. And we just rock out, bro. So, gold. Much love, guys. Rock it out. Battleground was a success thanks to the ladies more than anything. They took that show. They told Shawn Michaels, sit down, we got you. They put the show on their backs, and they absolutely rocked out. Till next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we're out. BC saying check you. Peace. Salute. Yeah! Salute, unit!